Today we're at Megabucks on the Harris chain of lakes near Leesburg, Florida. This is a unique bass angling competition where the 10 best fishermen following 4 days of elimination advance to the 2-day championship round. They then compete over a special 10-hole course, and for the winner, $108,000 in cash and awards. And I'll promise you, you'll witness the greatest big bass catch ever recorded on any Bassmaster show.
Oh my gosh, look at the size of that bass.
Stay tuned. I'm Ray Scott, and the Bassmasters will be right back.
Leesburg, Florida, the takeoff site each morning for Megabucks 88, the richest individual tournament in Bass Angler Sportsman Society history, a $730,000 payout. Megabucks is a double elimination tournament. For the past 3 days, these anglers competed as they would in a regular B.A.S.S. invitational, drawing for partners and fishing for total weight. But unlike other B.A.S.S. tournaments, there's not really a winner after 3 days. Instead, the 240 anglers fished to make the top 50. Yesterday, these 50 anglers were paired for today's fishing. At the end of competition this afternoon, the field will be paired to 10 anglers for the final 2-day round, Friday and Saturday, of Megabucks 88. The time is late winter, and the bass are in a pre-spawn pattern. Several have already moved on the beds, but a cold front Monday caused many to back off. But some remain, like these bass. And some of these bass will bite, like this fish. The majority of bass on the beds are caught on gitsets, small worm-like lures. Because most gitset fishing is done with light line, 6 or 8 pound test, the bass can't be horsed in. For many of these Bassmasters, this last elimination day, a 7 bass limit of 12-inch keepers won't put them in the top 10. The anglers need big bass, as does Larry Nixon, who started this morning back in 21st place.
Another limit, folks. The man who has the record of all-time money winner in our circuit from Texas, Larry Nixon, with another limit of bass. I think, without question, the largest. But how many fish did you cull today? How many did you catch and release today to come down to this 7 bass?
I lost 1 4-pounder. I caught 7 bass.
Well, this is 6?
No, there's 7.
7. So you caught 8 bass in?
No, I lost 1. I caught 7.
Oh, okay. I got it. I got you. All right. It don't matter. I'm betting it's 25 pounds of fish there. 31 pounds, 4 ounces. Boy, if that ain't doing it. Look at these fish. Let's reach in. Let's hold them up and show these folks. But folks, this is the biggest fish in stringer fish I have seen, and I cannot remember when.
The final cut has been made. These 10 qualifiers will be going for the gold and the $108,000 first place prize. The pressure mounts. Stay tuned as the Bassmasters travel to Little Lake Harris for the Megabucks championship round. We'll be right back. Day 1 of the Megabucks championship round. For one of these fishermen, there'll be a $108,000 payday on Saturday. That's 2 days away, and now's getting ready time. How does top seed Larry Nixon feel about it?
Well, after being in the team tournament in New York and fishing the 10-hole type course, I feel like there's maybe a little bit of advantage to fishing this type of tournament before, but not really in the manner that each guy, you know, you've got 10 holes out there, and you're going to have to catch bass out of all holes, and you've only got 50 minutes to fish each one, so you really don't have a lot of time to deliberate on any one certain thing. So the whole deal here is to try to catch 1 fish out of every hole. If you can catch 1 fish out of every hole, you've accomplished your day.
3,000-acre Little Lake Harris. The layout is similar to a golf course with 10 holes. The anglers fish each hole for 50 minutes, check into a control point where their catches are reported, and then proceed to the next hole. They repeat this until all 10 holes are fished. None of the contestants fished Little Lake Harris during the qualifying. It's a new lake to them, and they must scramble to figure the winning pattern. For some, the first morning's fishing is slow.
I'm on hole 8. I've got about 20 minutes left. I've got 3 fish. I just caught my 3rd fish a little bit ago, and been a slow morning. I've had one short fish, and I've had one good fish pull off, and that's not a whole lot of bites for as long as I've been fishing. I really have no idea where I'm sitting right now. Hopefully it's been hard on everybody. But a tournament like this, you've got a lot of good fishermen, and more than likely somebody's found a few of them. I got a feeling I got a little catching up to do.
But some anglers, like Larry Nixon, are catching bass. Each fishing area is different. Some holes have canals, others grass, docks, and bridge pilings. Others, like holes 5 and 6, are filled with lily pads, look-alike areas where Larry Nixon caught his bass in Big Lake Harris in the qualifying round. And there's no question the bass are in the pads.
Oh my gosh, look at the size of that bass. Oh, baby, stay pegged. Oh, hang on. Don't you do it. Oh. Oh, don't you dare get off her. God, dog. Thank you, Lord, thank you. All right. Well, I'm worthless now. I'm ready to switch holes. I'm totally worthless right now. Talk? I can't even breathe, much less talk.
That one big bass might make the difference.
We got a new leader surely coming up, folks. This is unreal. Man, just drain all that beautiful green water off. Larry, I know how you must feel right now.
Pretty good. I've been feeling good for several hours.
What time did you catch that big killer?
Somewhere around 12 o'clock or 1, somewhere right in there. I'm not real sure what time.
Kind of put you out of it. All right, watch the scales closely now. 15 pounds and 11 ounces. Ah! Reach in here and get that big one out of there. Folks, look at that. Is a gorgeous fish. We're going to show him to you. This fish has got to go 6, 7, maybe 7 pounds, I would imagine, a close. We'll weigh him to be sure. That is a beautiful, and I wonder if you had the courage to tell us the lure you were using. Did you rather wait?
No, I caught it on a worm. I'm not going to fib.
Okay, that's the truth. If he tells you that, that's what he caught him on. We'll weigh the fish. Larry, what does this fish weigh? You've been looking at this fish all day.
I'll say 7.2.
Yep, that's pretty good weight. You look at me like you want to bet?
No.
It's 7.2. I hope he weighs 7.2, and I think he probably is going to offer good. I'm going to say 7.3 just to be on the high side for $1.
No.
All right, the weight. 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Let's give him a good hand, folks. Big bass of the day, big creel of the day.
With $108,000 on the line, it's going to be a long night for these anglers. Stay tuned for the final chapter of Megabucks 88. The Bassmasters will be right back.
Forward.
Well, there's definitely holes out there that are better than others. Really, I start out in the sorriest end of the lake today, and I have to work my way all the way around to the bass, and I just hope I've got enough energy left when it comes to the last 4 holes to catch the fish I need to catch to hold off everybody today.
Third place contender Gary Klein talks about the Megabucks course.
After yesterday, that's the first time I've ever been through a 10-hole course like that. It's exhausting. I never could really imagine 50 minutes going by so fast. Actually, your whole day goes by so fast, you have no time to relax. It's, you know, run, gun, fish as hard as you can, then you're moving on to the next hole. And it was actually 3:20 when I took my first drink of water. It's pretty quick. It's furious action out there.
The final round of Megabucks 88. And while Bass and great Larry Nixon leads by over 9 pounds, this tournament is far from over. That's because 9 pounds can be just one bite here. A good limit and a big bass kicker can quickly change the standings. The reports filter in. Tommy Martin is on the fish, good fish. He has a limit and is culling. Gary Klein is also catching fish, and every one counts one.
Yeah. Nice little belly on him. Thank you. He's not huge, but he'll count. I'll be mighty proud of him. That might have just been about a $30,000 fish.
But the leader, Larry Nixon, is also doing his thing, catching and culling the bass that can make him $108,000 richer at the end of the day. And he's also aware of Tommy Martin's success this last day.
Heck with that thing. Tommy's seining all of them with that crankbait. I ain't gonna catch none behind him.
Martin continues to catch the bass and cull. He knows he needs a big bass. Gary Klein is culling with the help of a balance beam. He keeps the 2 smallest bass on the beam, replacing and culling with each catch. Ounces make the difference. And Larry, to cement the win, must catch bass. Another lunker like yesterday would help, and he knows every fish counts, like this bass. The scales will tell the story.
Gary Klein, Irving, Texas. All right, step right on the umbrella here now. Hold it. Atta boy, thank you. Needs 10 pounds to pull in the lead. And the weight. Bring him in, Pooley. Bring him in, Pooley. 9 pounds and 2 ounces, very short, but almost there. You're 1 pound out of the lead right now. Give him a good hand, folks. There he is.
And here's Tommy Martin, who can take the lead.
Watch the scale. He needs just 9.5 pounds to pull in the lead. There you are, folks. 11 pounds, 1 ounce, and you are in the lead, son. Let's give him a good hand, folks. Tommy, how's it feel?
Well, Ray, it feels real good, you know, but the tournament isn't over yet. There's some more people to weigh in, but I had a good day. I got in 2 areas that had a lot of fish in them today. You know, with just 50 minutes, you're really limited on time, but I hit 2 areas where the fish were bunched up, and everything went well today.
And yesterday's leader comes to the weigh-in area.
Today we're at Megabucks on the Harris chain of lakes near Leesburg, Florida. This is a unique bass angling competition where the 10 best fishermen following 4 days of elimination advance to the 2-day championship round. They then compete over a special 10-hole course, and for the winner, $108,000 in cash and awards. And I'll promise you, you'll witness the greatest big bass catch ever recorded on any Bassmaster show.
Oh my gosh, look at the size of that bass.
Stay tuned. I'm Ray Scott, and the Bassmasters will be right back.
Leesburg, Florida, the takeoff site each morning for Megabucks 88, the richest individual tournament in Bass Angler Sportsman Society history, a $730,000 payout. Megabucks is a double elimination tournament. For the past 3 days, these anglers competed as they would in a regular B.A.S.S. Invitational, drawing for partners and fishing for total weight. But unlike other B.A.S.S. tournaments, there's not really a winner after 3 days. Instead, the 240 anglers fished to make the top 50. Yesterday, these 50 anglers were paired for today's fishing. At the end of competition this afternoon, the field will be paired to 10 anglers for the final 2-day round, Friday and Saturday, of Megabucks 88. The time is late winter, and the bass are in a pre-spawn pattern. Several have already moved on the beds, but a cold front Monday caused many to back off. But some remain, like these bass. And some of these bass will bite, like this fish. The majority of bass on the beds are caught on gitsets, small worm-like lures. Because most gitset fishing is done with light line, 6 or 8 pound test, the bass can't be horsed in. For many of these Bassmasters, this last elimination day, a 7 bass limit of 12-inch keepers won't...
At 9 pounds, 13 ounces to our lead, and a new champion we got. All right. You're it, son. You realize you won $250,000 in the last 8 months?
I love it.
Beats working, doesn't it? Big boy. We have a trophy. All right, folks, here's the man that's proud. This guy here is coming along. Let's give him all a beautiful hand. We're real proud of them all. Amy, you got a beautiful, beautiful family you ought to be proud of, the kids, and I know you're proud of this guy right here.
Yes, I sure am. He's a wonderful fisherman, and I love him to death.
And how did Larry Nixon win this tournament? Right now, it's time for the Pros Pointer, the how-to section of the Bassmasters, brought to you by A.C. Delco.
You pulled a hat trick on the last day before the cut. You came from way down in the real, halfway down the pike, 25 or 30 places up into the lead. Now, what did you do? You can tell us, because everybody's going fishing tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah. Well, probably what I done over there the last day of the tournament when I caught the real big string, my first day's partner really probably put me on that pattern. He caught a big fish with me that day, and he caught it on a crankbait, and he also caught another fish reeling his worm in, so that pretty well told me that the bigger fish weren't holding real tight on the cover. But there was about 25 other boats fishing in that area, and I didn't feel like getting out there and showing a lot of people what to do at that point in time. And I knew if I caught about 10 pounds a day, I'd make the first 3-day cut pretty easy, and I decided that I'd just stay with the worm and catch my 7 little old bass a day and make the first cut and then try to catch the big fish the last day, and it really paid off. You know, I moved out. I started cranking the outer edge of the pads, and the big fish were migrating in that area over there to spawn. These fish, you know, they travel. This is the time of year that bass, they stage in certain areas, and they move back into the shallow water to spawn, and they were passing through this pad field over there, and it's kind of a cut. There's several little cuts in that area. I caught them in a lot of different places. They wasn't really in one place, but they were just scattered around, and they were really just passing through, and they weren't holding on the cover. You know, the water's kind of cold, and I don't know, I've always felt like when the water's cold, why should a bass sit in the shade? You know, he'd prefer to be out in the sun if it's a little warmer. So these fish were there, and luckily I figured it out. And I want to thank Dick very much for catching that big fish. Even though I would love to have had it, I'm glad he caught it.
All right, let me ask you one question. During those first 4 days before you went into Little Lake Harris, did you discover your pattern that you used in Little Lake Harris, or was it something different?
Well, I caught a lot of fish in Little Lake Harris using the same pattern that I was fishing the first 3 competition days, and it was mostly scattered pads, just any place for a bass to sit up on, and they were real aggressive. They were biting. All you had to do is throw your lure over there. You didn't have to flip it or pitch it or do anything fancy. All you had to do is get it around there, and he'd bite it. And so it's just a matter of making lots of casts and finding them fish here and a fish there.
I'm here to tell you Larry Nixon is red hot, and would you believe that a bass that jumped out of Denny Brower's boat cost him $10,000, the difference between third and fourth place. That's bass fishing. Now, next week, we'll be at Thousand Islands on the St. Lawrence Seaway in Clayton, New York. The fishing is great, but the weather is wild. Join us as we learn how one Bassmaster pulls out all the stuff. Bass Anglers Sportsman Society tournament. It may surprise you to know that anglers are not competing against one another. Instead, they're competing against the bass. That is, unless, however, they're competing against Mother Nature. And today, you're going to see a good example of what kind of hand Mother Nature can deal. We'll also show you a seldom-seen side of professional tournament angling. It's a great show, and you're going to enjoy it. I'm Ray Scott. The Bassmasters will be right back.